but we got a lot of questions, and we got some dating questions from women viewers. So, and I'm just going to add a couple parameters. I believe these are women that are looking to be married and for serious relationships. So we got a couple questions from some of our women viewers.
Okay.
And we're gonna shoot them out. And as two married men, we're gonna give some relationship advice to those women that's looking for a husband and/or a serious relationship. And these answers are gonna be focused for those women. We want to highlight those women that are looking for husbands and serious relationships.
Right.
So here we go. We got a few questions. Question 1. Why doesn't he text back after a great date?
Interesting.
I'll take that one first.
Go ahead.
Sometimes he's a good bad boy. Let me explain. Sometimes he knows he wants you for the wrong intentions, and he's actually respecting you because he know you're a good girl and he ain't ready for marriage, and he know he gonna have to wait an amount of time that he don't want to wait. So he's actually, in his way, as a ex-bad boy, in his way, he's showing her respect. Like, I ain't even about to mess with her because she too good for me. I know I'm not gonna get none, and she looking for marriage, and he's not looking for marriage. So in that case, he's actually kind of could be doing you a favor.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's, Anthony, wow, I feel so disconnected on this topic. I'm not lying, man. I feel disconnected, but I don't know. I think there's a perspective out there, and what you may see as a good date may not be exactly what that other person is saying. You know what I'm saying? You make a good point, though. You may be a good girl, you may be a good female, but a lot of guys ain't ready. A lot of guys don't have the maturity level. A lot of guys don't have the financial stability to be able to be in that kind of a relationship. And that may have something to do with it. Maybe it was a good date. Maybe you had a good time. Maybe he had a good time. Maybe y'all smiled and laughed and maybe even kissed or whatever before it was all over. But, if it's moving too fast, it might be a little intimidating for somebody who's not at that point. You see what I'm saying? Because marriage requires a lot of responsibility. And if you're a guy and you're just, and you're used to taking care of you, it could be intimidating to have to all of a sudden relinquish that freedom to help take care of somebody else. So maybe that might be it, ladies. I don't know. That's a tough question, though. And I do think it's kind of individualized there.
And it kind of goes with the next question. Why do men pull away when things get serious? And it's kind of similar to the first one. We're just answering some random questions. A lot of times they pull away because they are not ready for a serious relationship, and they know they're gonna be faced with it. Some of them run, and that's what happens. Because when they know it's serious, the games can be played. Yeah.
It's tough because marriage is never easy. And, I've certainly had some ups and downs with my wife, and God bless my wife, I love her to death. But I've had, we've had our ups and downs, but it took me a little while to get used to, some of the things I was doing when I wasn't married, the looking and that was tough to get used to. It took me some hard lessons to realize, man, I need to put my attention on this beautiful girl right here. I need, this woman who's committed to me, I gotta get that same level of commitment back to her. And I think a lot of guys just aren't ready for that level of responsibility.
That's it. Next question. How can I communicate my needs without seeming needy?
Let me say this, Anthony. There's a right time for it. Ladies, you gotta slow down. What you can never do is change that individual. You have to learn to accept that individual, first and foremost, right? So that means slow down. You can't just impose what you want on him, right? Because that's what you want. You gotta slow it down. You gotta see what does the relationship require, right? And then if I think you do that and you take a step back and you say, this is what I want, but right now I got to hold on. Let me hold on a second because I don't want to lose this relationship. If that's really the need for the relationship, then that conversation will come up, and it'll be the right time. And that young man that you're trying to be with, or who you see yourself being with, he'll be ready for the conversation. But you cannot put a square peg in a round hole. You got to slow down, ladies. You got to slow down. Sometimes you got to wait a little while to let that conversation evolve naturally.
Yeah, I got a little different approach, and we want to see needs. Okay, now I'm not going to focus on the wants, and I just want to say something. We're not talking about you want a man to pay all your bills.
Right.
No, we're not getting into that.
Right.
But I just say this, ladies. Just communicate efficiently, calmly, and in the context of a normal situation. A real gentleman is going to follow the cues.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to read you.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to very well listen to you. So don't worry about seeming needy.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something that your potential partner observes and he can help you with, that's for you to see and to see if you even a good fit with him. So I say just communicate. Don't put no thought into it, but just kind of do it in the context of a general conversation. And I want to add one other point, because this gets tricky, and this is long term. I'm always going to say wait, but I got to say something. Ask the questions before you give up any cookies. That's my suggestion. I want to add that in there just because, okay? Next question. How do I build attraction after the honeymoon phase? That's
I'll say this. Love, the emotion of love eventually wears off. And then love becomes this practical everyday. I'm here for this person because I'm here for this person because I know they need me as much as I need them. But we can't get comfortable. We still have to go out and exercise. We still have to take care of ourselves. We still have to eat right. We still got to do those things that are going to make us attractive. You see what I'm saying? I still want my wife to look at me and go, wow, he's still a good-looking man, because I'm taking care of myself, because a lot of it is physical, right? The attraction is clearly, that's a physical thing. You know what I mean? So I would say taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, taking care of your mind and your spirit, because so much of attraction is a spiritual thing. We see the attraction physically, but what brings that person in is not so much that physical, but it's that mental aspect. So, keeping yourself healthy, ladies, keeping yourself healthy spiritually and mentally makes you beautiful. How many times have we seen somebody who we look at physically who's attractive, whether male or female, right? We look at somebody who's attractive, but then we get to know that person and we go, whoa, You know what I'm saying? So it's a spiritual thing. And if you're comfortable with yourself, he'll be comfortable with you. If you love yourself, he's going to love you and be attracted to you. But take care of yourself physically, take care of yourself mentally and spiritually.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna piggyback on that last part. It becomes, after the honeymoon phase, it becomes, where are we going to be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? Because like I said, we're talking about marriage. And I tell young folks, we get all and women, I was going to say, women, you guys do a great job now on the physical part. Y'all got that down pat. Y'all, for the most part, y'all look good. I'm going to just leave it at that. But after that, it goes down to caring about that person. So how you go today, how your body feel. Do you need a massage? It becomes the little things. It's the little things. So I say, after the honeymoon phase, what becomes attractive is the fact that you care about that person's well-being. You say you have a bad day, baby, let me make your bath water for you. Relax. I want speaking for the lady, I want my king to be relaxed. Be his peace when he comes home.
Yes, sir.
That's very big. A long day, man. Don't want to come home here a bunch of stuff.
Right.
Even if you got stuff to say, just kind of pause it, give him his moment. Because I'm not gonna say we get emotional, but we get emotional too. You know what I'm saying?
Emotions too.
And we only can let it out with y'all because we gonna keep it tough for our homeboys. You know, I don't call Sean and be like, yo man, I'm down, bro. I'm feeling bad. Nah, I'll be my wife, baby. I had a long day.
Right.
Ooh, these kids, you know,
Right.
so just be his peace.
And to add something to that too, Anthony, find an opportunity to travel. Find an opportunity to experience something new, so that there's something, there's something brand new in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Go to a nice restaurant with her, or with him. But I think traveling is something might be that I think relationships need. You gotta build those experiences. You know what I'm saying? So, going to nice places, man, and taking your girl and y'all traveling and getting on a plane, so that and putting yourself in a position where all you have is each other, right? And y'all can lean on each other. That, to me, I think helped my relationship. And even after me and my wife had kids, right? And now that my kids are a little bit older, we can take them places. Now we're back to having fun. Now we're going places. Now our relationship is a little bit renewed. Traveling has been a good experience for me and my wife and my family.
Absolutely. And the last question, I didn't want to ask this, and I got a feeling I don't know the person.
You gotta ask it though.
Does body counts matter? And let me say this. This is a tricky one, but let me say this. Do body counts matter? Let me answer it like this. I'm going to say no. However, let me add something to it. Body personnel does. Let me explain. I'm not saying say everything, but I am saying this. If you mess with one of his homeboys, he needs to know. If we a PG show, but if you worked in the sex industry, you a streetwalker or something, no disrespect, he needs to know, okay? If you made money on it any type of way, whether it's OnlyFans or any other ones or anything, he needs to know. If it's anybody that you're bringing in front of him, introducing him, no matter any way, shape, fashion, or form, he needs to know. And I'm gonna say it like that. Do body count matter? No, but body personnel does.
I would disagree a tiny bit. I would say that it does matter. I would say I don't think a man wants a promiscuous woman. I don't think a woman wants a promiscuous man. You know what I'm saying? Because marriage is a trust. Marriage is a loyalty issue. So I would say in that regard, it does matter to a certain degree. I think it does matter to a certain degree. I don't think a girl wants to be with a guy who didn't had, and I don't think a guy wants to be with a girl who's, been, with a whole bunch of different dudes. I just, that might be in the past, and if we can keep that in the past, I think, that's the best thing for it. But I think it counts. I think it matters a little bit. We got to be careful, ladies and fellas. We just can't be running around. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the 70s no more. It ain't the 80s like it used to be. So you want somebody that's a little fresh, man. You don't want somebody that's been used up, man.
No, absolutely. So we got some of your questions, guys. Please like and follow #Anthony Perry USA.
Yes, sir.
All comments, all feedback is welcome. We independent. Like I said, guys, you can't hurt our feelings. We respect difference of opinions. Just keep it respectful. But hey, man, leave your comments, and we will try to get back to everybody. But thank you guys for watching and following us, man. We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys.
Absolutely. You can follow me on Facebook, guys, ESGEESG, SeanGarrett.com. You can follow me on Facebook, my hip hop page over there, having fun, keeping up with the things that I love that hip hop music. Culture Lives on my page. Like my page, follow my page.